Well, hello, you gorgeous sack of haunted meat. Today I'm answering a really common question on the internet, as well as responding to the most common answer to this question. So the question, what's the best and easiest diet to lose weight, right? That's the big, the golden ticket we're all searching for, those of us who are in the weight loss biz and those people who are trying to lose weight. What's the easiest way? What's the best way? But before I get into the answer to that question specifically, I would like to kind of address what I feel is the elephant in the room, an answer that is given with varying degrees of sincerity, depending on the context. There's one of two answers that I see the most frequently to this question, one of which is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting can be a legitimate approach, and we're going to talk about what that is, but let's get the illegitimate approach out of the way first. The most common answer I see to this question, sometimes in response to the question and sometimes just completely unsolicited, is people saying, don't eat. Just don't eat. So this is sometimes given as advice to people in a very mean and malicious kind of way, and sometimes in an actual, genuine, sincere kind of way. But let's talk about the problems with just don't eat, as well as the problems with intermittent fasting, which is basically just don't eat some of the time. So the concept of just don't eat, just starve yourself, just don't eat for a period of time, or just don't eat for a long time until you lose the weight, is a mentally easy concept to put together, right? It's if it's calories in, calories out, then that is kind of the logical thing that we say, oh, okay, well, if that's the solution, if less calories is the solution, then just don't eat. There's a big problem with this, though, and that is the human body is this complex, glorious bag of haunted meat. It's not just a machine. It's biological. There's a lot of hormones involved. There's a lot of different survival mechanisms involved, and the body is well adapted to responding in certain ways when we just don't eat, because that's been a legitimate problem throughout human history, is going through periods and times of famine where there is no food to be had. So if you don't eat for a long time, and this goes for any kind of fasting. Now, I understand that there are religious fasts and all this kind of stuff, but if we're talking purely for health benefits, health reasons, and for this express purpose of losing body fat specifically, because that is my area of expertise, I'm not going to speak to spiritual health or other, reasons for doing, or the euphoria that some people report, or the clarity of thinking that some people report when they've done fasting for a few days. But when it comes to actual weight loss, actual fat loss, there's a number of things that you're doing that are going to shoot you in the foot if you try to do fasting or intermittent fasting as a solution for this problem of having excess body fat. The biggest one is just the damage that you're going to do to your system in general. Okay, muscle tissue, connective tissue, bone density, brain function, all of these things are impacted by being too low calorie. So for very low calorie or for a prolonged period of time, there's a number of systems that can get hurt, that can get damaged, and your body is going to downregulate your metabolism the longer you go without food as a survival mechanism. The more you train your body to downregulate the metabolism, the better it gets at it. Okay, so you're making it harder on yourself in the future to lose excess body fat and keep it off. The damage to your system has been well documented, especially from the after effects from shows like The Biggest Loser, where they basically torture people into being losing a lot of weight in a very short period of time. Follow-ups with those people months, years later show that the effects are devastating. They do gain the weight back on. They do have more difficulty losing it again, all these things. Also, psychologically, it really sucks. I mean, you're basically putting yourself into a scenario where you should be panicked, right? And we already have enough stress and enough BS in life to deal with without also being panicked on top of it. And the reason why I bring all this up and to answer this actual question, you only need to cut calories a little bit to start losing weight. You really only need to cut about 300 to 500 calories. So the very best thing that you can do for yourself, the most easy thing you can do for yourself, and it doesn't sound like the easy thing at first, but I guarantee you it absolutely is. Write down, keep a food journal, write down what you're eating and find out like, okay, what am I already doing right now? Like right now, wherever I'm at, what am I doing because chances are, if you're asking this question, you're not in the process of gaining weight. You probably have gained an excess amount of weight and you're trying to figure out, okay, I've been at the same, 300, 400, 600 pounds, whatever it is for a long time now. I'm ready to start losing. Usually we don't think about weight loss while we're gaining weight, right? We think about it once we've reached that level and we've just kind of been stuck there for a while. So all you have to do is, number one, figure out what you have already been doing. If you're eating 3,000 calories a day or 4,000 or 2,000, whatever it is, just reduce that number by 300 to 500 calories. Just reduce it a little bit. You can make these small incremental changes and start losing body fat. And then it will stay off longer. It'll be less painful. There's so many benefits to going low and slow, but the problem is we get impatient with ourselves. We get impatient with our bodies. And so that's the best and the easiest, right? It might not be the fastest, but you got to consider what is actually fast. Is it faster to take 5 steps forward, 10 steps back, or is it faster to take 2 steps forward, 0 steps back? What is fastest for you in your mind, right? So that said, I know that a lot of very well-meaning, genuine people recommend intermittent fasting because it has worked for them. There are people who do not enjoy eating. That's a legit thing, that some people just don't enjoy eating, and intermittent fasting is a great solution for them. And oftentimes it allows them to eat get more nutrition in there because they're actually thinking about it like, oh, okay, well, this is my eating window. I have to eat during this time. Works out great for them. There are also some people, particularly young people with very revved up metabolisms, for whom they will see very fast results with intermittent fasting and be very excited about it and want to tell everybody. So for the very small percentage of people for whom intermittent fasting works well, that they are very vocal about it and they want to share their experience and they want to say, this is the easiest thing I've ever tried. It's the best thing. You don't have to do anything else. Just don't eat for most of your day. And that works out okay for those people. But what happens with most people, and you won't hear from them as much because they feel like failures, which is a darn shame because it's not their fault. Most people who try intermittent fasting, what they end up with then is, okay, I've gone for this portion of the day without eating and I've got my little eating window. And you would think that you couldn't pack in all those calories in that little eating window. Oh, you can. Your body will absolutely seek out the most calorically dense things and pack it into that time. So if you're not also tracking the number of calories that you're getting in, if you're not actually paying attention to your nutrition, then it doesn't matter that their eating window is small. You can still overeat your caloric needs in a very small eating window. Cinnabon is like 2,000 all by itself. And maybe you're not eating Cinnabon. Maybe you feel like you're eating perfectly healthy food, but it's still easy to go way over in those calories, especially if we're adding a lot of healthy fats to the dish, like olive oil, avocado, all these things. We start packing it in, and we can easily go over our caloric needs or over our caloric requirements, even in a very, very short eating window. And that is what your body will naturally want to do. Also, and I would say this is probably even the more common thing that happens, is somebody will successfully intermittent fast for a short period of time. Maybe they even lose some excess body fat during that period of time. And then they will get uncontrollable cravings and they think their willpower is the problem, and it's not. Willpower is not a thing. Your body's doing exactly what it was supposed to do. It said, oh, I am starving. I'm going to like impulsively seek out the most calorically dense foods I can. So in answer to this question asker's question, what is the best and easiest diet to lose weight? It is whatever you enjoy eating currently, less 300 to 500 calories. That's it. If you want a more structured plan for this, I do offer meal plans for all of my students, as well as live online Zoom classes for fitness, exercise, nutrition, all that stuff. If you would like to work with me, you can go to www.thenerdgym.com, sign up for any membership level, and I can help you out with all of that. And remember, your vanity is valid. you have these goals for yourself. I support you. You know, you don't have to look a certain way for anybody. Just please remember that and enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. The body is a weird, crazy thing. It's this glorious sack of haunted meat. So I want you to enjoy the process, have fun with it, and don't make yourself suffer. Life is too short and there's enough suffering already. So if you want to accomplish these goals with minimum suffering, I am here for you, darling. All right. I will see you next time. I'm Coach Melanie Black, and you can find me at thenerdgym.com. Bye.